Nigel, all of this plays into the narrative, or correcting the narrative, if you like, of the evil colonialists, which you write about in your latest book. Let's talk a little bit about colonialism and the current, well, almost hysterical passion with which people condemn the entire concept of colonialism. It was inevitable that the new world, with its greater technology and more technological advancement, was going to collide with the old world at some point in history, wasn't it? So this would have, colonialism had to happen.
Yes, I think that's absolutely right. Given the fact you have nations in Europe and also the United States who have developed naval technology that can carry people to the ends of the earth, sooner or later, Europeans were going to pitch up on the shores of Australia. If it hadn't been the British, in fact, of course, it was the Dutch who first discovered Tasmania, what became known as Tasmania. And if it hadn't been the British, it would have been the French, the Dutch, or the Americans. So it was going to happen. Because of in the case of North America, in the case of Africa, in the case of Australia, not quite so much New Zealand, and not so much in India, because of the vast cultural gap, simply in terms of technology and in terms of science, between the British and the Aboriginals in Australia, or Native Americans in North America. The encounter between, when there was this collision between Britons and Aboriginals, it was going to be brutal for the Aboriginals because the power was so asymmetric. But let's be clear here. I mean, when Europeans migrated to North America, or when they landed on the shores of Australia, they weren't looking for trouble. They were, some of them, looking for a better life. Crossing the Atlantic, you've got Scots and Irish who are fleeing famine back in the British Isles, looking for a better life in North America. You've also got religious dissidents in the 1600s fleeing what they found to be an oppressive religious establishment in England. In Australia, of course, you've got convicts who are released, and then they want to build better lives by settling and farming. So these people, they were looking for better lives in the same way that migrants nowadays try and cross the Channel, the English Channel, in small boats to enter England illegally, and were trying to enter Australia by crossing the seas illegally. People wanted a better life. So that was the motive for the mass migration of Europeans, mainly to North America, and eventually Australia and New Zealand, and somewhat to Africa. Africa wasn't so attractive because Europeans tended to fall prey to disease there.